The cause and effect text structure. Readers of nonfiction must be able to identify the cause and effect structure and signal words, such as therefore, consequently, and for this reason. On your nonfiction structure, signal words and phrases organizer in your school-wide notebook, there are other phrases that can be looked for while you're reading. These are really important signal words and phrases that help us to understand the cause and effect structure, as well as help with comprehension. Today, we'll be identifying text clues and signal words for the cause and effect text structure presented in A Warmer World in order to better understand the information presented. A Warmer World, From Polar Bears to Butterflies, How Climate Change Affects Wildlife, is one of the many nonfiction texts that we've already read a little bit about. Today, we'll be specifically looking at the cause and effect structure, so be sure to be on the lookout for the signal words and phrases in the section we'll read. The idea of cause and effect is really present in all parts of our lives. For example, if we eat too much, we're going to feel sick. So in this situation, the cause of eating too much, or we can also say because we ate too much, creates the effect of feeling sick or unwell. If I notice that there's water on the floor, I will search for the cause or what caused the water to be on the floor. And if I discover that it rained, then that would be the cause of the floor being wet. You see, there are many cause and effect relationships that we are presented with on a regular basis. If you really think about it, you can come up with endless amounts. In A Warmer World, we're lucky because the entire structure of this text is actually cause and effect. The cause, a warmer world, leads us to a series of effects that we'll be searching for in this book. The effects are on animals and also other living things. Today, we're going to focus on what the effects have on penguins, which we've learned a lot about so far in this unit. Today, you're going to need this cause and effect text structures organizer from your school-wide notebook and also a pencil. We're going to fill out this web together. Today, we're going to focus on the effects that the warmer world has on penguins, and we're going to keep track of these effects on our web. Notice that we already have the cause filled in. The world has warmed up and climates have changed. Follow along with me as I read the section. Let's take a look. Penguins. As the world's climate warms, the population of penguins in Antarctica and nearby islands is changing. On the Antarctic Peninsula, once home to vast colonies of Adelie penguins, melting ice has destroyed their nests and reduced sources of food. In the last 25 years, the population has shrunk from 40,000 to fewer than 6,000 birds. On the other hand, Gentoo penguins, which previously found the Antarctic Peninsula too cold, have begun to move in. Now, more than 2,000 pairs of Gentoos nest where the Adelies once lived. Let's begin by looking for the most obvious effects that are signaled by a key word or phrase. I'm going to pause here for just a moment. Let's think about what signal words or phrases can be identified. Does everyone notice where it says the population of penguins in Antarctica and nearby islands is changing? This here is an example of a cause and effect signal because it notes something has changed due to warmer climates. When we continue to read, we see that one effect of the warmer weather is that the population of Adelie penguins has shrunk because their nests and food supplies have been destroyed. And finally, I also noticed that Gen 2 penguins have begun to move in. It was previously too cold in this area for them to live, but now they're coming back. So this is another effect. The cause-effect relationships that we've identified today are really helpful in our understanding of the text. We now know how warmer weather has affected the penguins. So let's go ahead and fill in our organizer using the text. Go ahead and write down the title of the text, which this subsection is called Penguins, and it's on page 18 of A Warmer World. I'll pause here and wait. Now let's remember, what were the different types of effects that we noticed? The first one I highlighted here is that melting ice has destroyed their nest and reduced sources of food. I found that these are two different effects, so I wrote one in each one of these webs. Melting ice has destroyed penguin nests, and penguin food sources have been reduced. These are two effects that significantly impact the penguins. I'll pause here while you jot these down. Now, if we keep going, we'll also notice another effect. What did you see? Here's what I highlighted. It's quite a bit. It says the population shrunk from 40,000 to fewer than 6,000 birds. On the other hand, Gen 2 penguins, which previously found the Antarctic Peninsula too cold, began to move in. So I wrote this down as an effect. The Adelie penguin population in Antarctica has decreased due to warmer weather, and the Gen 2, which formerly found the Arctic too cold, moved in. It sounds like two unrelated events, but these both really affect the habitat of the penguin in a very great way. And I know it's highlighted and a part of the first part that I read, but the penguin population has shrunk from 40,000 to less than 60,000. That's a huge difference. So as you can see, the effects of a warmer world are really great on these poor penguins. Today, we learned how important it is for readers of nonfiction to identify cause and effect relationships in nonfiction texts. By noticing keywords and relationships, we can identify the cause and effect structure. We're going to keep this in mind as we read independently. Remember to be on the lookout for keywords and signal phrases when identifying the structure of a text. And keep up the hard work.